Mm. Wow, I haven't done this in a while actually. Hello everyone, I'm Caitlin and welcome back to my channel Curly Red Tails. So I realise it's been a hot minute since I last posted a video on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel. I know I don't need to give a reason why. I feel like I just like to clear the air. I was literally super busy with work and my wedding because I got married in September, which is very exciting and honestly the weirdest mix of emotions I have ever had. I just couldn't take any of it in apart from being with my now husband. Which is so weird to say. I don't think it should feel different once you get married. The only thing that actually feels different is when other people refer to him as my husband, or if other people call me a Mrs. I'm like, hello. So that's a little bit weird. The holiday was honestly just perfect. It couldn't have gone any better. Sorry, I don't know why I've gone on to such a huge talk about the wedding. I literally was just explaining why I haven't posted on YouTube in a while, but this is what happens. I start filming a video and I get word vomit so bad that I end up going to edit it and I'm like, why are you talking? I love how critical I am of myself. Also, I am very sorry for the pitiful excuse of autumnal Halloween decorations I've just slapped on in the background. I was wanting to put my Halloween banner there instead of my Halloween tinsel, but I can't find my Halloween banner, like my Happy Halloween. I have no idea where it is. I haven't actually put up any of the Halloween stuff yet, so I just threw this up in the background to give it an autumn feel, but let's be honest, it's not given much. Oh. Although I do have this Halloween kitty. I found it in my Halloween box that I wrapped around my lamp last year. It's like one of those bracelet rulers that you snap onto your hands and rolls up. And it's got a cat on the end. So I looked at it and I was like, well, it'll add a bit of spoopiness to my video. So here we have, I don't really know what to name it. It's got really sparkly ears and nose, so maybe Sparks. Sparks! She will be in the video today. I feel like you're a he. It's definitely a he. I really want a cat. I am desperate to have a cat. You can call me crazy cat lady if you want. I don't care. I am desperate to have a kitten. And now that I'm married and the wedding's out the way, when would be a better time to get a pet? Now. Now would be the best time to get a cat. But since I don't have one, we are going to deal with Sparks here and he will provide some spookiness for the video. So, I am coming out of my YouTube slumber to do a week-long readathon, which I am so excited about because it's my first time participating in this particular readathon and it's got all the spooky, cozy, autumnal, Halloweeny vibes that I've literally been waiting 4 or 5 months for, because when I started to get serious about my channel, I haven't posted since July, but when I started to know that I wanted to do more YouTube videos and I was enjoying it and posting them, I knew I wanted to do this readathon this year, and so I'm doing it. But I'm participating in Vampathon. As I'm new to the Vampathon this year, I'm obviously not going to be the best person to explain what is entailed in this week-long readathon as well as the actual creators. So I'm going to link Jodie's video announcement of the Vampathon down below so you can get a better idea of what it entails and what it's about. I'm losing the light and I haven't even showed you my books yet. Lost the light, the natural light of the day. Think and hope I've managed to fix the lighting a little bit, so I do apologise. I did mean to film this a lot earlier today, but the day's literally gotten away from me. I think it's after 5 p.m. now, and obviously it's getting dark in Scotland because it's autumn time. Anyway, maybe I should explain what this readathon is that I'm so very excited to participate in. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to use the picture that Jodie and the rest of the team have created. I don't want to copyright from the creators that have worked so hard to put this readathon together. So she's got a picture of the Vampathon bingo board in her video that I've linked below. So basically, you try and match books that you have on your TBR to the prompts that they have given you, and you try to complete their bingo board. What I love about this readathon is that you can complete this bingo board in any way you want to. It's so versatile and so easy. So I am going to try my very hardest to complete the entire bingo board, and I've chosen a set of books beside me that can complete one or more of the prompts on the board. I will state I am not putting myself under any certain pressures to physically fully complete this bingo board. If I happen to get a line in any sense of the word, then that would be great. If I happen to finish it all, then that would be honestly amazing. I just want to have a bit of fun and just see how many prompts I can get through. I've not really worked this out. I don't know how much sleep I'm going to get this week because I'm actually going to be attempting to daily vlog. I have no idea how I'm going to pull this off. Filming is going to be no problem at all. I really love picking up the camera and filming little bits and pieces. It's the editing that I think is going to scupper me. Here is my stack of books that I'm hoping to read this week. I'm now looking at this on the camera and thinking, I might be trying to outdo myself by reading all of these and daily vlog. We are nothing if we're not overachievers in this household. However, there are a couple of short reads like middle grade books and manga covers, which will be nice and quick reads, so I'm hoping that it will break them up. And they're not too thick. I think the thickest one is probably these two. So they're actually not too bad. Do you know what I've forgotten to do? Because I have to film with my phone, I have forgotten that the prompts that I was going to read out and explain all my books to you are on my phone. And I don't know them off by heart. So I'm going to have to take a couple minutes while I try and figure out what the prompts were again in order for me to explain why I'm using these books. So I took some time to write out all the prompts. I'll kind of go through what I'm hoping to read this week and mention what kind of prompts I think they'd fit. The first book that I'm hoping to read is The Midnight Club by Christopher Pike. Now, I've been so excited to read this. It's basically about a bunch of kids that are in a hospital. They're all very, very ill, and they decide to tell each other ghost stories, so spooky stories. I've kind of used this for 2 prompts, and I don't know if I'm going to get away with it, but the first prompt that I'm kind of using it for is a gothic spooky cover because, I mean, there's a crow. Doesn't crows say gothic already? So there's a crow, a house, lightning, shadows. I don't know, this one gives very gothic vibes to me, cover-wise, and I'm also, this may be cheating, but one of the other prompts is a vampire book to movie. Now, I know that this one isn't about vampires, but don't you just hate when you've got a sticker on a book that you can't get off? But it does say coming to Netflix, and if anybody's been aware, it has already been posted to Netflix. So I'm really hoping to read this week in order for me to then watch it. I always love seeing a book to movie adaptation. They're never always the best. Sometimes you get more enjoyment out of the crappy adaptions. It's a visual aspect of that world at the end of the day. And everybody likes a good crap movie at good times. It is book to movie, so I'm counting that for 2 prompts: gothic spooky novel and book to movie adaptation. The second book I have on my list has been heavily talked about, The X-Hex, which is the first in the 2-book series now, or the duology, by Erin Sterling. I've seen the hardback version and now I'm like, I mean, the paperback version is still just as pretty, like it's so beautiful, but now I want the hardback. Why is this such a problem for book lovers? All I've really heard about it is that it's a witchy version of Gilmore Girls. That is all I needed to know to sell me on this book. I've decided that it will cover the prompt book that brightens you because, you know, Gilmore Girls is really light-hearted, really cozy vibes, and if this has got like witchy vibes in with those cozy vibes, I'm saying a lot of vibes at the moment, but you get what I mean, then obviously this is going to brighten your soul, your heart. There is another prompt that says witchy vibes, so I can class this as a witchy vibe as well, but I'm pretty sure I've got another book that also has witches in it. So far, that's 4 prompts that we've covered, and that's just for 2 books. I'm sure I can get that done. This one I'm literally so excited about. So it is Stags by M.A. Bennett. I saw this in Waterstones literally years ago. It's been on my TBR 4 years. It says 9 students, 3 blood sports, 1 deadly weekend. So this is the first book in the series, which I'm very, very excited about. To me, it's given me the feels of upper class, really high privileged teenagers, kids, having a party at somebody's house. They've decided to go out and do these like high fluorescent sports like hunting or shooting, but they've put a twist on them to make it more exciting. So they've made them deadly, and I'm guessing somebody's after somebody or somebody dies, something like that. That was a really awful explanation, but I've only used this for the blood on the cover prompt. I have a feeling that it could get away with a gothic setting prompt. I'm just getting the vibes that it's set at like a manor. I won't know until I've read the book, but I know that this will for sure cover blood on the cover because there's a teeny tiny little blood mark there. And that counts. I've been desperate to read this. Desperate. Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Illustrated by Chris Riddell. I can't believe I've never read this. I absolutely adore the movie. I love Coraline the movie. So creepy. I love the music in it. Oh my god. The soundtrack is just phenomenal. This is going to cover the prompt a spooky middle grade book because obviously it is a middle grade, and I've heard it is actually really creepy. Like the book is very creepy compared to the film. So that's been like hyped up to me a lot. So I'm expecting this to like scare me. Even though it's middle grade. And I just don't think it will in the way that I'm thinking, because I was actually terrified of the movie when I first saw it. Like, I think I first saw it when I was 12. It was spooky, and I had like a little bit of a jump scare because the cat or the woman just jump out at a random point and freak the hell out of me. I just love the cover. It's so pretty. Look at the kitty. I have the Hare House by Sally Hinchcliffe. Yeah, Hinchcliffe. Now, I actually only recently heard about this on Emma's channel, Drinking by My Shelf, because I absolutely love watching her, and she did a readathon recently, or I think it was like a 24-hour readathon or something like that recently, of reading like tons of horror books or something, and this was the first one she read. I am using it for the horror book prompt. I know I haven't read it, but when I looked it up online, it did fall under the genre of horror. I have never read a horror book. I am saying this now. I've never read a full-on horror book. I know. I'm disappointed in myself. It's okay. I do hope to remedy it someday. I have tried to read American Psycho, but I'm not going to lie. Reading the beginning of American Psycho makes me want to kill it. I want to rip the book apart so bad because it's just so dull the first few pages. I'm not clicking in with it. I haven't DNF'd it yet. I'm a big believer on trying my hardest not to DNF a book. If I've picked up a book and I started reading it, I will try my hardest to finish it. But I've picked this book up about 4 or 5 times and it's still not really doing anything. But that is the only one that is kind of like close to horror that I've tried to read. If anybody has any suggestions on like a real horror book, like something that will scare you when you read it, like I want scared, then please comment below, because I feel like I need to delve into this genre a little bit more, especially when it's like, you know, Halloween. I really, really want to read a full-on horror book. So I'm hoping that this one is like horror enough to scare me a little bit while I'm reading it, because Emma from Drinking by My Shelf said that it was like quite creepy at times. So I'm banking it on that. I'm thinking, does it cover another one? I think this one could cover a book with a gothic setting, because if I remember correctly, it did also say in the genres that it has a gothic setting, or that it is very gothic, because I know that it's obviously at a house. It looks like it's supposed to be a manor. For among the rolling moors and dark forests and the whispers of witchcraft and local tales of young men sent mad. So that does sound very like creepy. I have no idea. I've even just read the synopsis out loud and I still don't know. All I've got in my head is that witches make men go mad at a house in Scotland on the moors. That's all I've got so far. One of Us is next, which is the other book in the Karen McManus series. It's not really a series because each of them are like standalone in their own right. It follows like a different set of kids on a different murder mystery. But it is technically a series because it says one of us is lying, two can keep a secret. It kind of follows that route. But I'm very, very excited to read this because I absolutely adored the other books. Loved Two Can Keep a Secret. I know she has like another like 2 or 3 more and she just brought out a new one or something like that. So I am quite behind. But hey, I'm getting to it. Again, it's just a bunch of teenagers that are trying to solve a murder mystery or murders happening around them, and I'm guessing they're just caught up in the mix of it like the other 2 books. So it will be exciting to find out what these straggle of teenagers have gotten themselves in for. This will actually follow 2 prompts as well. So this can follow the thriller murder mystery, because obviously there's going to be a murder in this, and set in a school. School-wide game of truth or dare seems fun. Oh, that actually sounds cool. The last 2 books I have are The Sad Ghost Club by Liz Meddens and Mooncakes by, oh, I'm not even going to say that name because I think I'm going to butcher it, Wendy Yo and Suzanne Walker. I think it's Yo. It's like XY. Not XY, XU. So I think it's you, Wendy Yu. Really excited for these because I don't have a lot of mangas. The only manga I have is The Little Witch Academia, and it's the first one in that series. So I actually got these for my birthday this year, and I've been waiting to read them for this because I knew it would be on the prompts list. One's on the prompts list that I think Mooncakes would fit for is the paranormal supernatural romance, because obviously it's about a witch and a werewolf. I think they end up developing a wee romance, so that definitely covers it. And then the Sad Ghost Club, I thought would cover the spooky graphic novel because it's got a wee ghost on it. Now, I know this probably won't be like spooky because it looks really sad. I don't think this will be spooky in any sense, but it is a graphic novel or like a manga, so I am kind of still including that. I think the only prompts I haven't mentioned so far is a book to sink your teeth into, a supernatural main character. You can use that for any one of the books that either has witches in it, Mooncakes because it's got a werewolf and a witch, Blood is used as magic. Now that is for sure the only prompt that I definitely don't have a book for. And the 4th one was read a book in the dark. You may think that is all the books that I have. But wait on a minute, I have 2 more. Now, the reason why I have these 2 is because if it's starting to get towards the end of the week and I've not gotten through something yet, but I'm still wanting to read something that can cover one of the prompts, then I've got these 2 ones because they're very short. I have a funny feeling they're going to be quite easy and quick reads. So the first one is Poison for Breakfast by Lemony Snicket. I was just flabbergasted when I saw that Lemony Snicket had brought out a new book this year, which I actually learned from Ruby Granger's channel. I had no idea that he brought out a new one, and this actually follows Lemony Snicket storylines. Obviously, Lemony Snicket is the pen name for the author. It's not the actual author's name of the series of unfortunate events books. It is a character. He's like the narrator in the books. He's the one that's going over all the Baudelaire case. He's the one that's talking to you and stuff like that. But this book actually follows Lemony Snicket's journey solving his own murder. But also, what I've been dying to read since last year is all the stories and poetry. No. That is not the title. The title is All the Woods She Watches Over, and it's short stories and poetry by Emily McCash. I think it's Emily McCash. I actually think some of these are a little bit like spooky or creepy, so it will definitely fall into those, again, spooky vibes. How many times have I said that? Bloody hell. So that is all the books I'm hoping to read this week. I may be giving myself too big of a task here by trying to read all these and daily vlog. I am aware of this. And now looking at it and after going through it all, I am heavily debating if I can do this because it is now almost 6:30 in the evening and I haven't started reading and it's the first day of the readathon. So I'm doing really great for the start of this readathon. Not read a book, not posted for the Vampathon photo challenges, which they also have on their Instagrams. Extra thing that you can do for a bookstagram. I've still got a good portion of the day to just sit and read, which I am so excited for. That's what today was supposed to be, but instead of doing all my prep work like I was supposed to do yesterday, I left it for this morning. Why do I do this to myself? Half this video is just me rambling towards you guys about all the books I'm reading. I hope there is still some vlog footage in this video that you guys can watch and enjoy. I am going to get cracking on starting one of these books because I think it's about time. I'm going to watch Jodie from Vanilla Moon's Sprint. I started watching a little bit earlier while I was finishing up cleaning the kitchen, I think I am going to start with the Midnight Club and see how much I can get through it. If I find like I'm not making that much of a dent, I will switch to the Sad Ghost Club. So these are the two I am going to begin with. The one thing about filming stuff like this is that you have to do cleanup time. But that's not too bad, you know? A couple of books to put away? No. That was me just trying to find decorations to give you a pitiful background. But up close it's kind of cute. No? You're actually taking the piss. Look what I found. Oh, it's gone a little bit bashed up in the box this year. It's very old. It's from like my grandparents' leftovers. But I found my Halloween. I just thought quickly before I'm going to start reading, I am going to put some of the Halloween decorations up. These are not all my Halloween decorations. I've got like a massive box of Halloween ones, but they are all very like early thousands, 90s kind of Halloween decorations. And I want to get some more just kind of like autumn cozy. I'm not really feeling spooky Halloween decorations this year. So this is kind of what I've got to work with. I've got these really cute kitty tea lights that I'm going to put on my TV unit stand. These sparkly fake candles that I usually put in the kitchen. Some little tea lights which need the battery changed in them, so they're just for, you know, effect. A little plastic pumpkin. That ceramic one that was on my, well, it's not really ceramic. I think it's plastic or wood. That was on my bed. Another kitty tea light. These jack skeleton or skeleton jack-o'-lanterns or lights that I'm going to put up around my DVD case. I'm going to reuse the tinsel, and these are so old. So this is what I mean by like, I guess these were like 90s or 80s, I don't know. But basically I raided my grandparents' Halloween box when we moved in here so we could have Halloween decorations. And I love it. I love having like the stuff that we used to have as kids for Halloween decorations. It's just not the whole vibe that I'm wanting this year because I don't want all the like spooky stuff, and it takes ages to set up all the cobwebs. Usually set up cobwebs going all the way down here, all the way over there, and then stretch it over to the banister. Kind of decided this year that I don't really want to be doing that, but these are little like window stickers. So they obviously don't have as much stick to them, so you really have to like press them on the window. But I'm thinking of sticking some of these on my window because I love doing that every year. So yeah, that is the collection I have at the moment. I'm going to quickly set all this up and then hopefully get on to some reading. So, as you can see, I look a little bit different now because I've taken off my makeup and just shoved my hair into a bun because it was getting in my way. Do have a little bit of a confession to make. As we all just saw, I sat down to start reading The Midnight Club and I only got to page 19 because I fell asleep for 2.5 hours. I fell asleep for 2.5 hours. Like, This readathon is off to a fantastic start. I can't believe it. I literally started reading and I was getting like quite tired and I was like, no, you can't fall asleep. You have to actually like stay up, read something, at least get to the end of the first chapter. It's now 20 to 11 or quarter to 11. And because I fell asleep, I missed dinner. I was so looking forward to just having like a massive bowl of pasta and eating garlic bread with it. But I think it's a little bit late now to cook a whole bowl of pasta. Usually I would just do it, but I am up for work at 6:30 tomorrow. So I don't really feel like making an entire bowl of pasta at the moment. So I'm about to have beans on toast because of how much I had to do today. I thought, well, I'll make a meal that's going to be nice and easy so I can get to reading quicker. But I'm not going to lie, all my brain wants to do is watch Doctor Who. Although I did enjoy the first 19 pages or so that I've read of this. I'm a little bit worried that it's going to be sad rather than spooky. But I have only just started. It's just because the first few pages are so heavy in terms of talking about all the kids' illnesses and how they all have different forms of cancer. So I was like sitting reading it and I was like, am I about to read like a sad book here? My plan of action now is I'm going to watch an episode of Doctor Who while I eat something, because as much as I would love to and as amazed I am at others while they can like eat and read, I literally cannot do that. And then I think I'm going to read at least to chapter 3, if not chapter 4, before I go to bed. I'm determined to do that. I was hoping I can actually stay awake long enough to read any though. Today literally couldn't be more of a fail to this readathon. I just realised I forgot to post my picture on Bookstagram for the Vampathon photo challenge. I think it might be a bit too late to post it now. I'll just post that picture super early in the morning, like before I head off to work. At least you're getting the post on Instagram at some point. You can always try again tomorrow. Nothing beats some cheesy beans on toast and Doctor Who. Okay, so obviously it is the next morning now. After I had my 2.5 to 3 hour nap last night, I actually wasn't very tired at all. And I intended to stay up all night and read some more of my book and then get ready to go to work this morning for 6:30. But that didn't technically happen. I think I fell asleep around, so I didn't actually pick up the book again till, it was probably around about like 2:45 to 3. And I think I read for about like half an hour or something before I accidentally fell asleep. That's why I never ended yesterday's vlog. But I will give you an update on the Midnight Club. So I'm on page 55, almost a quarter of the way through it. It's honestly a pretty easy read. I don't expect it'll take me very long today, and I've got all day to read books, which I'm so happy about. I'm liking it so far. I think I did mention in some of the footage that I filmed last night that it opened quite heavy with like lots of talk about cancer and explaining all the different characters, different forms of cancer that they all have. So I was a little bit worried that it wasn't going to be spooky and more just like, you know, sad. Like halfway through chapter 2, I think it is. Chapter 2 is mega long because we're at the point where all the kids have met up for their Midnight Club story time. The characters make up stories to try and make things seem a little bit better and then tell them at this club. Chapter 2 is literally just going through them one by one. I'm already a little bit bored of. It was exciting here in one story, but I thought like it would be one of those things where it would start a story or you jump to another character story that, but no. Christopher Pike has literally given us like a full blow-by-blow detail of them telling these stories. So I'm a little concerned that it's going to go through all 5 of them, which means I have to read 5 different stories, and they are quite long. Like, Spencer's story lasted a good like 3 or 4 pages. I'm going to leave today's video here. I hope you enjoyed the first day of Vampathon. It was a bit of a fail for me, to be honest, but it can only go up from here, and I'm excited to spend today reading, which will be tomorrow's video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and a little subscribe. Also, please head over to my Instagram, which will be linked below, where I'll be posting other Bookstagram pictures about the readathon. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed the first day of your Vampathon, if you guys are participating, or if not, I hope you enjoyed watching me fail at my first day of it. I hope to see you all tomorrow, and happy reading, guys. I swear, trying to vlog while trying to read literally makes it physically impossible to read, because all you're doing is setting up the camera to film clips of you doing stuff. So the readathon and the thon. It's so hard for me to say thon and not thong. This is so chaotic. My brain is literally hopping from like topic to topic right now, and it's so hard for me to stay focused. I genuinely feel like Doug from Disney's Pixar's Up when he's finding a squirrel. He's chatting, and squirrel. That's for sure me today. Now I don't remember what I was talking about. I can't talk. Or a diagonally. So that is all.